Good afternoon, I'm Jen Lask. Maggie is off today. The Department of Child and Family Services says it's conducting its own investigation after a woman was charged with murdering her son. We first brought you the court documents in Jessica Logan's case on here on WCIA at noon yesterday. Jessica Logan is charged with the murder of 19-month-old Jaden Comage. Court documents say she searched in her phone how to suffocate the day before the baby died. They also say Logan tried to cash in on a life insurance policy she had on her child the same day he was found unresponsive. DCFS confirmed it has a history with the family. Neighbors we spoke with say they're shocked by what happened.
She's like a very good mom. And like I say, the little boy used to run to my house, ring the doorbell, ask for candy. And of course, I ask him to have some. And if I have any, then I give it to him. And that's why I'm still sitting at the house, because I'm in shock.
The coroner's office says it found evidence of asphyxia with compression to Jaden's neck, but it hasn't released an official cause of death yet. You can read the court documents on Logan's case at WCIA.com. Police are searching for a suspect after a man was shot in the leg in Champaign. Police found the victim yesterday afternoon near West Springfield and Parking Lot Road. It happened around 12:30. The victim was a 28-year-old person. Police believe someone inside a car fired a gun while another car was driving past. No arrests have been made. A Champaign man was sentenced for cutting off his electronic monitoring bracelet. Shamario Brown removed it while on parole for aggravated battery to an officer and aggravated unlawful use of a weapon. He was one of several men identified last year as having gang affiliations in Champaign County. Brown was sentenced to 2 years in prison for taking off the device. Charleston police have a man in custody for possession of meth. Police arrested 37-year-old Derek Van Meter from Flora after a traffic stop. Police say he had 1.5 grams of suspected methamphetamine. Van Meter was also driving with his license revoked. Charleston police have also made a drug arrest that included cocaine. 48-year-old Cornell Johnson was picked up for possession of a controlled substance. Police say they made a traffic stop. While he was pulled over, a canine found more than a gram of suspected cocaine and a small amount of marijuana. Looking ahead, lawmakers will be returning to Springfield on Monday for a veto session. One of the first topics on the agenda will be banning flavored e-cigarettes and tobacco products. Convenience store and vape shop owners gathered at the Capitol yesterday. Vape store owners say if the ban passes, they won't be able to sell more than 90% of the items in their stores. Convenience stores wouldn't be hit as hard, but they still argue a ban is not the answer to keeping flavored products away from young people.
People are talking about flavors, like bubble gum and things like that appeal to kids. I think there's some definite room for regulation there. To me, that's a very sensible approach. But just to pursue an outright ban on these products, especially when all of our neighboring states have them, to us is short-sighted. And again, it would just recreate a black market.
The Illinois Association of Convenience Stores says it believes kids are getting the products off the black market rather than in stores. Now for an update, the Champaign County Board had its first of several discussions on consolidating the county's jails. The board is looking to combine 2 sites, one in downtown Urbana and the satellite jail on Learman Avenue. Members of one committee already agreed it's too expensive to keep both locations operational. But at public comment last night, people spoke against building a new jail, saying instead the money would be better spent on keeping people out of jail. The Cunningham Township supervisor says there needs to be a discussion about who needs to be behind bars.
How can I work with you to keep folks, and how could Andy, my cohort across Wright Street, work with you to keep our participants who basically are involved in crimes of poverty and extreme deprivation out of jail so that you don't have to spend $10, $25, $50 million incarcerating people?
Construction management.
Architect for the proposed facility says it would cost between $42 million and $52 million to build everything on the list. But board members say they can pick and choose what they want for the facility. More than 100 people gathered at Sinai Temple in Champaign to discuss ways of protecting places of worship. It covered everything from the law behind hate crimes to security and how houses of worship can protect themselves. People from a variety of faiths were there, including the Catholic and Christian Church and Jewish and Hindu temples.
We probably wouldn't have thought of going to such length if so many incidents of hate crimes, so many violent acts had not taken place.
The first assistant United States attorney says they had a similar event in Decatur about a month ago. They're planning more throughout central Illinois. Neighbors in Georgetown say they're worried about people speeding on one stretch of road. It's in an area very close to two school zones on East-West Street. That section of the road is a 25-mile-per-hour zone that turns into a sharp curve. Pinecrest Elementary and Georgetown Ridge Farm schools are both within half a mile. People living there say drivers go a lot closer to 50 most of the time. One neighbor says when she moved in, she was warned not to let her kids play outside.
I worry every day that one of them's going to get hit. I actually used to, when I moved in and I seen how they drive, I actually used to be afraid someone's going to come into my front room, like come around that curve wrong. I'm not, putting down our police department. I think those guys have got a tough job to do in this town with other things going on, but once in a while, maybe they need an extra cop or something down to watch once in a while.
Some neighbors suggested rumble strips, speed bumps, or additional police patrols. Georgetown police say they are aware of the speeding and they do their best to catch them, but they usually have one officer working per shift. We have a follow-up on a looming strike in Decatur. Teachers' assistants are set to walk out on Tuesday, and this comes after a negotiation session between the union and school board leaders ended abruptly on Wednesday. The two were at the bargaining table for just 15 minutes, and the union president says the board decided not to budge from its offer on health insurance. We talked to a mother who has two teenagers with special needs in the district.
It's kind of like handing a newborn baby over. When they're nonverbal, they can't come back and tell you how their day was. You have to depend on people that you trust to tell you what they did and how their day was and how much they ate for lunch.
She says she may have to take off work if her kids' TAs go on strike. Adam, I was in Westville earlier this morning, and they're so excited for the game at 2 o'clock tomorrow, Saturday, but you're kind of worried about that, right?
Well, no lightning and thunder, but, I mean, there could be a lot of rain. So it depends on what they want to play in or if they can play in just a lot of heavy rain. Because usually football games, they call it like football weather. If it's snowy or rainy, you just play through it, right? Well, we'll see if they decide to do that or not with some of the rain that's heading up that way as we head into the day tomorrow, though. We'll stay dry for the remainder of today. Looks like it stays mainly cloudy, though, this early afternoon with a few peaks of sunshine on the way. Here's your shed rain out of the rain. Sweepstakes code word for today. It is geostrophic. I'm going to leave that on there for just a little while so you'll be able to get each and every letter on there. Go ahead and enter that into either our website or head on over to the weather app and you can have a chance to win one of those shed rain umbrellas. And speaking of winners today, Gretchen from Mattoon, Michael from Muhammad, Brenda from Lerna, and Rosemary from Danville, you are our week 4 winners. Make sure to go ahead and try to get in contact with us and check your email so you can see if you were one of the winners here this week.
All right, thank you, Adam. And coming up on WCIA 3 News at noon, it's been nearly a year and a half since record flooding swept through Watsika. We'll show you how the city is putting the wheels in motion on a new natural disaster prevention plan.